Okay, there it goes. Welcome back to another Choose Your Own Adventure book reading, where I read the books, they choose the path, and I have to take a shot every time they kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Today's book is an Endless Quest book. It is the first Endless Quest book. Dungeons of Dread by Rose Estes. I hope I said that name correct. So, we begin. Welcome to a journey into the world of fantasy. This adventure into the Dungeons of Dread is a Dungeons & Dragons adventure. You will find a complete adventure between the covers of this book with many possible courses of action. Some choices are simple, some are sensible, some are foolhardy, and some are dangerous. You must make all the decisions. Remember, your choice determines the outcome of your adventure. In this book, you play the part of a human fighter. As an adult, you stand 5'9" and weigh about 150 pounds. You are smart.
Yeah, the short king.
Short king. You are smart and have survived many adventures using little more than your wits. You are well schooled in the use of weapons and are a powerful opponent. You carry a sword and a dagger and wear a long-sleeved green tunic over leather breeches. Fine leather boots guard your feet. A long green hunter's cloak protects you from the cold. You carry flasks of oil, a tinder box, a length of rope, and other gear in a leather pouch tied to your belt, and food and water in a sack slung over your shoulder. Good luck and good adventuring. You have stopped for the night in a strange forest, tired after a long day's walk. The area seems eerie and strange. There is no moonlight, so the shadows are very black. The air is still and heavy. Even the usual night noises of small birds and animals are missing. Ordinarily, you would have pressed on through the dark woods to the nearest town, but this night you are too tired to take another step. Wrapping your cloak firmly around yourself, you lie down upon a soft bed of moss with your sword close at hand. You are soon fast asleep. You dream that summer breezes ruffle your clothes. A strong breeze tugs at your cloak. You slowly awaken. Breeze? There is no breeze. The night is calm. Your reflexes scream in alarm and you awaken. Eyes snapping open, you see a 3-foot-tall halfling, probably a thief, quietly searching your clothes. In one smooth, swift movement, you jump to your feet and grab the unlucky halfling by the scruff of his neck.
Someone didn't take Lucky.
Whoops. The halfling's eyes shine in the moonlight and his fear is easy to see. Well, halfling, can you give me one reason why I shouldn't feed you to the crows? Because you're not a fucking psychopath? We're already getting into this Why?
We're playing. You could honestly just be threatening him to scare him off.
It's like immediate murder hobo.
He hasn't tried it yet.
He's obviously the other guy in your party. You have to befriend him.
That's probably where this is going. He says, "Oh, please don't do that," whines the halfling. "I'm just a poor, hungry halfling named Loris." Loris?
Loris?
Loris.
Loris.
Loris. Like, alright. Sure.
Loris.
I've seen worse names, but okay. "I'm no danger to anyone. Why, I just now escaped a terrible fate. If you spare me and feed me, I'll tell you where you can find all the treasure in the world." You hesitate, then lower him to the ground, saying, "I have no need for all the world's riches." Bullshit. "But what you say sparks my interest. I will spare your life and feed you if your story interests me enough to pay you for my lost sleep." You're just... Why are we so relentlessly angry?
Look. We're going to kill this man because he deserves it.
I think it's... I mean, you're waking up in the middle of the night and someone's stealing from you. I think he's okay to be angry. The murderous thing's a bit much.
Yep. He says, but I warn you, if the tale does not, I will feed you to the crows. Carefully watching the halfling, you gather dry wood from beneath the trees to start a fire. Soon you and the halfling share its welcome warmth. Its bright light holds back the shadows of the night. You brew mugs of strong tea as the halfling falls ravenously on a mutton leg and a round of cheese. He eats as though it has been years since he last saw food.
Right.
Halfling, you spoke of treasure and adventure, you urge, trying not to show your curiosity. Too late. Loris wipes his mug with a grimy finger, searching for any sugar his tongue might have missed. All the while, his large brown eyes flicker about, calculating his chances for escape. He studies the strong grace of your movement, your mirror-bright shield glinting in the firelight, and your sword hanging within easy reach, its hilt polished with use. Did you have to put it that way? Wiping his mouth with the back of his hand, the halfling sighs and stares into the flickering fire. Aye, 'tis true, 'tis a marvellous tale, and truth but too, but there is hardly any who will believe me when I go back to my home. Well, try me. I'm always ready for a good tale, and you still owe me for dinner and your life. I'll tell you, says the halfling, fixing you with a shrewd look, but you may wish you had never asked. Settling back against a tree stump, the faraway look comes into his eyes, and the halfling begins his tale. He has a name, Book. You just gave it to me.
Loris.
I've lived around these parts all my life, and a right pleasant place it was until the magic users showed up. Kalman, he calls him. Kalman?
Cowman?
Kalman.
Kalman?
Okay.
K-A-L man. Alright. Sure.
Kalman?
Kalman.
Killman.
Kill Bill. No one knows where he is or where he came from. One day he wasn't here, the next he was. Things soon began to change for the worse. People grew poor and sickly, crops withered, and livestock weakened and died. And throughout our troubles, the magic user grew rich and powerful. At last, people had their fill. Gathering their courage, they came upon Kalman in the middle of the night, burned his house down, and drove him from the town. He fled to these woods and claimed them as his own. We townsfolk stay far from the woods, but travelers who choose not to listen to our warnings enter the woods and are never seen again. I was always too smart for my own good, sighs Loris. God damn.
Lars.
It's like Lawrence, but with no N.
It's dumb. One day I decided I would learn the secret of the woods, the missing travelers, and perhaps figure out how to kill the wizard. If I could do that, I could return to the village as a rich hero. So one morning, without even a goodbye to me missus, I slipped into the woods. I explored every inch of the evil woods and found nothing. Finally, I came to a mountain just outside the forest. I was cold and tired, so I crawled up on a ledge of rock to rest. I was going to sit here for a moment before I went home. I must have fallen asleep, for the next thing I knew, I woke up to find Kalman standing over me. So you wanted to find me, halfling, he said. Well, now you have, and I wager you'll get more than you bargained for. With a wave of his hand, he put a spell on me so I couldn't move and slung me over his shoulder like a trussed-up rabbit. Then we slipped through the opening in the side of the mountain. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
I do not like this. I cannot and will not tell you of all the frightening things I saw. I don't even want to think about them, shudders the halfling. He carried me to the very center of the mountain, maybe the center of the world for all I know, and there I saw all the treasure in the world. You wanted to rob me, said Kalman, so look upon my treasure. You will always know just how much you have lost. Those who seek danger foolishly always find it. Those who know how to handle both danger and wealth are few and far between. You are lucky, I feel generous. I shall let you go and not even change you into a newt, as you deserve. When you return home, none will believe you. Your friends will think you have been drinking fermented corn juice in the woods and have made this story up to cover your absence. They will laugh at you. Only you will know what you have beheld and lost. Now be gone. Black smoke... Go ahead.
I can't believe Kalman is Bill Murray in New York.
Black smoke came out of his fingertips. When it cleared, I found myself in these dark woods, alone and hungry. Loris sighs and stares into the fire for a long time without speaking. Finally, he rouses himself and says, with a shaky laugh, "You can see now I'm just a poor halfling, of no harm or help to anyone." This is a long introduction, by the way, until we get to a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
A
sorry.
hard choice, if you will.
Jeez, I have 2 more fucking pages of this to read. Fuck. You feel sorry for the forlorn little fellow, and you are curious about both the evil wizard and his fabulous treasure. Strangely enough, you do believe the tale. Even though the little man is clad in a grimy patch cloak, he has one toe peeking through the tattered leather boots. His eyes hold a stubborn look that says, "I am not a quitter." Life has used the halfling hard. Do you really have to put it that way?
Oh.
Do we really have to put that way about the halfling? Please don't.
Life is a dirty
Wait.
slut.
What?
Never mind. We're gonna skip over that.
What?
If he were given encouragement and a fair chance, he might prove a worthy companion. Loris, you say gently, could you find that opening in the mountain again? The halfling stares at you for a moment before he answers. Surely I could, but it would mean your death. Kalman would not allow you to survive as he did me. I was in a moment's amusement, but you would be a serious threat. Anyway, the monsters would get you first. They're scary. I don't remember them clearly, but I remember enough to give me nightmares for the rest of my life. You're crazy to even think about going in there. You couldn't get me to go back in there for a million zillion gold pieces. You fold your arms and stare at the halfling, tapping your fingers against your shoulder. Why are your fingers on your shoulder? That is not how you fold your arms.
I guess if you're folding them upwards, like.
Are we hugging ourselves? Is that how this is working?
Yeah.
I guess
Oh.
I guess what I'm imagining is the Wakanda Forever salute, but you have your arm, but you don't curl your hands into fists. You can touch your shoulders that way.
I want everybody to do that right now to get into the mood.
Oh, I have been.
This is a very unnatural position, though, I will say.
It really is.
Yeah, it is.
I feel like I should be like laying in a coffin right now.
If you did this,
I feel like I'm on a water slide.
if you did this at somebody, they'd question your sanity.
Yeah, I mean,
I have a feeling whoever wrote this book didn't think about the actions and just wrote what he thought sounded cool.
Well, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
how good
or-
stuff happens.
That or mint elbow.
it probably meant elbow, but whatever. Loris shakes his head and says, I see nothing I say will persuade you. As the wizard said, those who search for danger will find it. Who can tell? You might even succeed where I failed. I will take you to the rock. At least it will prove I spoke the truth. Gathering your few possessions, you quickly break camp and follow the halfling into the dark woods. The night is dark. No shit, we just fucking established that. Without the halfling's knowledge of the way, you would be hopelessly lost. Trees loom out of the darkness, brambles clutch at your legs, and sharp stones cut into the soles of your boots. At last the mountain rises before you, silhouetted against the night. The halfling searches about for a while and cries, Aha, here it is. A large, dark crack looms in the mountain before you. You turn to the halfling, almost expecting him to have disappeared. But he has remained faithfully by your side instead of scurrying off into the night as soon as you found the opening. Loris,
What a nice guy.
what will happen to you if you return to your village, you ask. Loris laughs a bitter laugh. If I tell the truth, me missus will scold me. She's a hard woman. If I don't tell the truth, she'll still yell at me for disappearing, and not talk to me, although that might be a blessing. But, alright, sure. I will just go back to being little Loris, the baker's helper. Why are this so fucking long? I have 3 more pages after this, God!
Trying to build character, damn it!
Loris, you say, it took great heart and courage to try such a dangerous task. Would you consider joining me on a second adventure? Kalman will never expect you to return, and with your assistance we may defeat this evil wizard. If we succeed, you will turn home a hero. Thereafter, you will be known as Loris the Brave. The halfling looks down at the ground, his shoulders sagging. I couldn't do it, he whispers. I'm not a fighter. Pick someone who won't let you down. I don't want someone else. I need you and I want you. Alright? Alright, sure. Let's put it that way. You can do it if you believe in yourself. After a long pause, the halfling looks up into your eyes and pulls at his beard. Does he have a beard?
This is
Apparently.
the first mention of a beard.
Yeah, I think it's like a chin strap or something.
Do you really need my help? Do you really think I could do it? I'll be honest, I'm scared. Much of what I saw seems like a nightmare to me, all scary and creepy and blurry. But I would like to be Loris the Brave. A real adventure, he muses. One that might actually succeed. You're strong and handy with your weapons. I bet you're tricky, too. More of a challenge for that wizard than I was. But I've been there. Maybe I could help. Maybe I could do it. What do I have to lose? My missus scolds me and others laugh at my size. There's not much to lose and lots to gain. His voice fades as he thinks to himself. Finally he shouts, Yes, I'll do it. I'm your man if you want me. Can you not?
Okay.
Can you not?
Okay.
Can you?
Someone really wanted to be writing a romance here.
They sure did.
Interesting turn of phrase there.
The next fucking sentence doesn't make it any better. He says, "Can you handle a weapon, you?"
Can you handle my weapon?
Can you handle my weapon? Fucking hell. Maybe it's not the book. Maybe it's just us. I don't know.
It's a little of both, honestly.
I've had
A
little
little bit of
call.
column A.
I've had little call to use one as a baker's helper, but I know the basics every child learns, replies the halfling. I'm loyal and very strong. Well spoken, Loris. I bet giants who bore the hearts of mice. People should never judge a man by his size. The things that matter, truth, loyalty, courage, and honor, will never be found on a yardstick. The halfling smiles up at you, his round eyes rimmed with bright tears. Come, no time for tears. Now then, I'm called Carrick. Really? We have a name. We have a name for our character.
And we still haven't made a single choice yet.
Clasp my hand and let us swear loyalty to each other and to our mission. The halfling The halfling slides a small...
Halfling slut?
Yes!
Yeah, that's what I heard too. The halfling slut. What?
The halfling slides his small leathery hand into yours and you soon swear the oath.
Not much better.
Yeah, not much better. Well, you say, there's no reason to stay. Let the adventure begin. You look at the stars and breathe deeply of the clean, crisp air. Then, with your hand wrapped firmly around the hilt of your sword... Okay. You step into the opening. Inside, all is quiet. It appears a simple cave. Even though the halfling's tale still sounded true, you question it for just a moment. As your eyes grow accustomed to the dark, you see a skeleton leaning against the wall in one corner, staring at the opposite wall. A small shield lies at its side. With a little polishing, it might shine as brightly as your own. You pick up the shield and give it to Loris, also handing him your dagger. The halfling takes the weapon and the shield, holding the dagger gingerly with his fingertips. It's not going to bite you, you say. Hold it firmly. Grasp it firmly. God damn it.
Grasp the dagger firmly.
Firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp As the imp of the bottle said,
God.
seize the bone.
God fucking damn it. Be ready.
Seize the bone!
Be ready. Don't strike until you're certain of your target, and once you begin, do not falter. I will try my best, Laura says, putting the dagger in his belt. I'm scared, but I won't let you down. He begins polishing the shield. Your eyes follow the skeleton's gaze and see a message scrawled in red on the wall of the cave. Watch the water that is not water, and beware the basilisk. The rest of the cave is empty, except for a pile of leaves and twigs in the west corner, and a hole in the wall under the message. Well, Loris, where do we go from here, you ask? I do not know, the halfling replies. I do not remember any trails, just some of the things I saw.
Wow, all this is scrawled on the wall?
1. If you wish to investigate the hole in the wall, turn to page 13. If you wish to check the pile of leaves in the corner, turn to page 15.
Page 15, because no wizard's just going to have a hole with a creepy message and make that the obvious entrance.
Given the way this adventure is going, we have to check the glory hole first.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's not relentlessly mean like
There might be another sword to grasp.
Ah, it's gotten horny. I stepped away for a second.
grasp
Has that
the
ever
sword.
happened?
Lean down and yell into the hole, I'm here to seize your bone.
I've come for your pickle.
I've come for your pickle.
Okay, so are we going with the leaves or the hole?
Leaves, I suppose.
I'm Team Glory Hole.
Same.
Yeah.
Alright, they want the hole.
They want
I
the
mean-
hole!
We gotta firmly examine the hole.
There might be a sword with a handle to grasp firmly.
You peer through the narrow hole and see that it is a stairway leading down into the mountain. Loris follows you and remains close to your side. The stairway has been carved out of solid rock. Mica flakes reflect a dim, flickering light at the bottom of the stairs. The flakes sparkle and shine as you pick your way down the winding steps. Your soft leather boots make no sound as you move. The light slowly grows brighter as you descend. You see the source of light. The stairway ends in a smooth rock corridor. Another corridor opens up to your left. 2 creatures, no more than 3 feet tall, stand 10 paces away. They have no hair, but are covered with a scaly black hide. A sharp bony crest runs up their backs and ends in 2 sharp horns upon their heads. One creature holds a short sword in its hand, and the other holds a torch. You remember seeing creatures like these on one of your adventures in the past. They are kobolds. Very evil creatures who would attack you immediately if they discovered you. I want you to remember that this is like fucking first edition D&D, where they still had this...
Kobolds are the only loot worth taking. Grab them and run.
Tactical kobolds.
This is extremely early D&D. We gotcha.
As someone who plays a kobold in another game, this is quite funny just to see the cultural shift.
He says, "Well, Loris, are you ready to attack them?" You whisper. "I don't know," says this trembling halfling. "They're not much bigger than I am, but they sure look mean. Do you really think we can win? They look awful tough." "Loris," you say, "they are mean, evil, and tough, but if we work together, we could take them. What do you say?" 1. If you wish to attack the kobolds, turn to page 17. If you chose to slip unseen into the corridor on your left, turn to 19.
I don't know. I don't.
Don't hurt the kobold.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, we're here for Dick, not for hurting kobolds.
We're here for Dick.
Yeah, why else would we come to Glory Hole?
I mean, if the kobolds have Dick.
There's no option
It's
for kobold.
bifurcated.
Damn it.
There is unfortunately no option for kobold dick, so we're just going to slip into the corridor.
This is why superior editions replace this one.
I wish I hadn't said slip into the corridor like that, because it begins, the corridor is dark and slick.
That it is.
So you move slowly. As you run your hand along the right side of the corridor, you feel a gap that must be another corridor. Creeping forward again, you see a red glow in the distance and hear a clicking sound. Okay. So weird.
Yeah,
That's a weird button.
Yeah, if you have one of those, please consult your doctor.
Yeah, get that checked out. As you walk forward, you can see that the glow is advancing towards you. Finally, you see that the glow comes from a giant beetle. "I don't like bugs, Mother's halfling. They're all creepy and crawly." "It's not so bad, you say. That beetle's not much bigger than the ants. Sure, it has nasty pincers, but at least it's a fire beetle, one of the smallest of the giant beetles." "Thank goodness for small favors," the halfling says glumly. "Let's hope we don't meet any of its bigger brothers." The beetle continues to scuttle down the passage toward you. 1. If you choose to fight the beetle, turn to page 44. If you wish to avoid the beetle and take the passage to the right, turn to page 31.
31. I don't want to hurt any beetles.
Yeah, the
Me
beetle's,
neither.
yeah, the
Yeah, I was
beetle's
Jump
just
into
chilling.
the side passage, wait for it to pass, and then go.
Yeah, I was about to be like, fuck them beetles. But I guess we're gonna keep the beetles.
When bugs are 2 feet long with huge, sharp pincers that can easily slice off an arm or a leg, you must be careful around them. You decide not to attack the fire beetle, but to take the corridor to the right. This corridor runs straight and smooth. Soon you see lit torches set in brackets on the walls every 30 feet. You round a corner and see a giant wasp standing over an orc. It is injecting the orc with a paralyzing poison. Once finished, the wasp tugs the orc over to a hole in the left side of the room and stuffs it into its nest. "Ooh," the halfling says shortly. He hides behind you. As you watch the wasp move the orc, you notice 2 things of interest. The wasp wears a blue jacket with gold buttons and a red leather vest, and another corridor opens directly across from you.
I thought wasps normally wear yellow jackets.
Yeah, that's fine.
Excuse
I
me.
get it.
If you decide your fear of insects includes giant wasps, run like mad into the corridor across the room and turn to page 23. If you
Look, the
decide
sassiness.
if you decide to enter the room and attack the wasp, turn to page 33.
I don't want to attack the wasp. It's wearing clothes, which implies it's a guy or a beloved pet.
I'm kind of curious. I want to attack the wasp just to see what happens.
I want to. Okay, I guess we can attack it, but I wish there were an option to talk to the wasp.
Fucking first edition.
First edition. There wasn't much talking.
Worst edition.
Yeah, only slipping into holes.
Okay. You decide that since the wasp has just used its poison, not much will be left. You seize one of the torches, enter the room, and fling it at the huge insect. The torch lands on the wasp's jacket. Soon the entire insect is ablaze. Really?
Is it wearing a jacket just so you can set it on fire?
I think so! Please, let's get out of here, says Loris, tucking your tunic. You watch the wasp slowly collapse. Something terrifying happens. A white cloud rises from the ugly blackened hulk and hides the dead wasp. When the cloud thins, you see that the wasp has disappeared, and a handsome young man lies on the floor in its place. He wears a bright blue cloak, a red leather vest, and breeches. The young man stirs briefly, and you rush to his side. He opens his eyes and looks at you. It's obvious he is on the verge of death. He speaks in a gasping whisper. "Thank you, fighter. I am free at last." As you hold him, the cloud arises once more, and he is gone within seconds. You kneel on the ground, holding nothing. What did he mean? Loris grabs you tightly and cries, "You must get us out of here. Nothing's what it seems to be. Insects that are men that are insects." "Loris, calm down," you say, grabbing him by the shoulders. "Now get a hold of yourself. We must keep our wits about us." Loris calms himself, then straightens up and says, "Sorry, bugs are bad enough to be turned into one." He shivers and then falls into a brooding silence. And then set on fire by some dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't worry, murdering him was apparently a good thing?
Yeah, at least we saved his soul from waspdom.
Jesus.
Apparently, maybe.
That's so fucked up.
It depends on how polymorph works in first gen.
It's still kind of like we didn't even like. We the characters know the wasp was probably a guy, but in universe, this guy just saw a wasp and decided to throw a torch at it. What?
You move.
It's
It's disturbing. You move to investigate the wasp's nest. After you pull the orc's body from the hole in the wall, you see that it hides away to a passage that runs through ahead as far as you can see. You crawl through the hole and walk down the corridor.
Before we get too far, could I just say, like, when it said that he turned into a person, I was expecting him to just, like, come back to life and be like, "The witch said only an act of true violence could save me."
I'm guessing this is Generation 1 polymorph.
It's gotta be.
But, yeah.
But it's like, doesn't it ruin the effect of polymorph, disguising something as something else? When you put the fucking vest on the little fucking wasp?
Maybe the polymorph didn't affect his vest, I don't know.
It's
a really good vest. He wanted to save it.
Maybe the wizard thought it looked adorable with the vest on.
I mean, that's fair.
This guy is kind of nuts.
Right, so as we enter the corridor, you hear the sound of grinding stone and see some dust fall from the ceiling. "Something's wrong," you whisper to the halfling. "Let's get out of here." You turn around and start retracing your footsteps. However, before you have gone 2 paces, a tremendous roar knocks you off your feet and the passage before you collapses. When the dust settles, you see the corridor is completely blocked with large boulders, heavy timbers, and dirt. "It's impossible," you say. "We'll never dig out without tools. We can only go forward." Reluctantly, the two of you stagger to your feet, turn around, and walk down the corridor, alert for danger at every step. The corridor ends in a room. A feeling of menace hangs heavy in the air. But what you see seems harmless enough. The room is approximately 20 feet square and dimly lit. The ceiling and walls are rough, with stalactites hanging from the ceiling. The floor is smooth. The stone wall, about 3 feet tall, stands in the middle of the room. Well. It's spelled wall in this instance, but then it's a well later on in another sentence, so, okay. I I was confused for...
What is a well but a curved wall with a hole?
That is true. The well is covered with mysterious carvings of ugly faces. Sword in hand, you approach the well carefully. Don't do that, get away, screams the halfling. You stare at the halfling in shock. There's something horrible in there, Loris says, trembling, but I can't remember it clearly. Calman picked me up by my feet and dangled me over the pool. He thought it was funny. I didn't think it was so funny. What kind of monster is it, you ask? I don't know, he answers. I never saw anything like it before. Sneaking carefully up to the well, you glance in quickly and discover it contains only a shallow pool of water. All of your instincts scream danger. Everything in you says leave now, but you do not. You can't go back the way you came, and you've come too far to let the mysterious carvings around a pool of water frighten you.
Okay, so I guess we don't... Doesn't this kind of defeat the entire purpose of a choose-your-own-adventure novel?
A little bit. This is a long stretch of things that I just have to read.
This is railroading.
This is a long stretch of things that I just have to read to you until we get to a fucking choice. This is a weird choose-your-own-adventure. You look in again and see that the water is crystal clear. You see a bright gold key on the bottom of the pool. The tip of the key is fashioned like a cross with diamonds on each end. Colored gems decorate each corner. The key must be valuable and open the lock to something of great importance. Look, Loris, look, you call, but the halfling buries his head in his hands and does not respond. If the key is important, why would it be left lying around in a pool of harmless water? Perhaps the water is not harmless. You could reach in and see what happens, but if a monster does lurk there, as Loris believes, that would not be a good idea. Looking about the room, you see several things you did not notice at first glance. There are 2 doorways, one to your left and one to your right. Both are dark, you cannot see beyond them. Bones lie scattered on the floor. Loris, bring me one of those big bones. This could have been a choice. This could have been a choice book. God damn it. Where's the choose your own adventure in my choose your own adventure book? The halfling slowly drags a 3-foot long bone to you. Picking the bone up, you probe the bottom of the pool gingerly.
Seizing the bone.
Seize the bone!
Ow.
He did seize the bone! He finally did it!
A 3-foot long bone? That seems a little long for a human.
With the right amount of Viagra.
Christ.
You get a wizard to cast Enlarge Reduce.
Oh, Jesus.
You're all under arrest.
So that's how you make love to a giant woman.
That's how you
under
get half dragons.
arrest.
This is how you get half dragons.
Oh, God.
Arrest.
Picking the bone up, you probe the bottom of the pool gingerly, trying to snag the key. With what? That's not how bones work. It's not a grabby hand.
Maybe it's a misnomer, or the author just thinks the entire arm, hand, and fingers is just one bone.
You're working it with tendons and stuff?
Yes.
Or it's a flexible bone.
Shady, no. That's not how that works either. I have not seen a prehensile
cartilage,
one.
damn it.
Alright. Suddenly the bone is wrenched from your hand with great violence. The water erupts from the pool. A watery cobra-like head rises out of the pool. It surges at you with its mouth open. You jump back quickly. Once you are out of its striking range, the watery creature sinks back into the pool. See, I told you, but no, you wouldn't believe me, cries the halfling. We gotta get out of here before it eats us. Calm down, you say. It can't get us as long as we stay here. It's a water weird, a snake made out of water. It can't leave the pool. I've heard them mentioned in old tales, but thought they were never real. It looks real enough to me, says the halfling, his teeth chattering. You are silent as you try to remember all you've heard of water weirds. You know they will attack any living thing. It drags any creature it strikes into the pool to drown it. Weapons rarely hurt the monster. If you decide you do not wish to fight this dreadful monster, you may choose to leave the key, the monster, and the room. If you decide to leave, You may leave by a doorway on your left. You notice a cool breeze blowing from this doorway. If you choose this route, turn to page 86. Or you may leave by the doorway on the right. If you choose this way, turn to page 73. If you decide to stay and try to get the mysterious key, turn to page 77.
Gee, if only there were a
No
cryptic
option
warning.
to kiss. There's no option to kiss the funny snake monster.
No.
Oh, gee, if only there were a warning about this earlier in the book. Who could have seen this coming?
I know.
Come on, you idiot! It literally said, "Look out for the water that is not water," and now there's water. Oh, gee,
I wonder what
Look,
we do. But
Carrick, I think you're just an idiot.
our guy is pretty dumb.
Like, it claims you are smart and brave, but you just seem to be dumb and rude. And a bit racist, because you're just referring to Laris here as the halfling.
He does. He very
Like-
rarely uses his name.
I guess that would be maybe the only way I could see that as being remotely acceptable is if you didn't know his name, but now you do know his name. But no, he's just the halfling. He's just the halfling. Okay.
With speaking to Laris, he always says Laris. It's kind of like the overhead of the book saying that rather than the dude himself.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying it's weird that the book does it too.
I understand why, because if you say, and Laris did this and Laris did that, it gets a little samey. I understand why.
Or he.
Yeah.
It's very strange. All the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with our guy as a racist.
Hey,
Because I'm not
So it
very
is first edition.
I'm not very fond of him so far. Really not.
Yeah.
Not digging this
Let's-
guy.
Yeah. I'd say go in the door with the breeze.
Yeah, this is your guys' choice. I mean, there's
Yeah.
an obvious answer, but there's also two other answers where we could go and see if you kill me.
I do enjoy killing you.
Thanks.
I want to find something that'll give us a kiss.
Not a lot
I
of
mean,
things
if-
in first edition will kiss you, unfortunately.
Aww.
Yeah, that was before the monster fuckers really ran the show.
Mm-hmm.
They get in there eventually, though, you know.
Furries will have their time.
They get in those slick corridors eventually.
Boo.
Yeah, sliding all in.
Please refuse.
I refuse.
I'm sorry, I'll be good.
No, you won't.
It's
I'll
fine.
try.
The book is not helping.
Yeah, it really isn't.
It phrases things in ways it doesn't have to phrase things, and they're very easy to pick apart. For immature 37-year-olds, because it's funny. So we've got one vote for the breeze doorway so far. What's everybody else feeling?
What were the other options?
We can go to the doorway on the right. It doesn't say anything particularly interesting about that way. Or we can stay and try to get the mysterious key.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the breeze.
Two
Yeah.
for breeze.
I don't
breeze.
think this character is prepared to kiss the snake in order to get the key, but so I think we should just.
He doesn't have the strength of will necessary.
I don't know. I feel like this character has kissed plenty of snake-like objects.
Oh!
Damn it, Will. Okay. As you travel down this corridor, away from the water weird, you see that another passage opens to the left. It is dimly lit, but you see nothing. Let's stay out of that corridor for now, you say. As you continue down the corridor, you see stone faces carved in the side of the corridor. The faces have ugly, snarling features. Gosh, Carrick, Laura says, look at those ugly faces. As you proceed, the carvings become larger. The corridor is now flanked by man-sized stone monsters with such hideous expressions you are almost too terrified to walk past them. They're only stone, Loris, you say with more courage than you feel. The two of you creep along under the gaze of the stone monsters. Large torch-lit room opens before you. Large wooden beams rise on both sides of the doorway. You notice the corridor continues on the other side of the room. As you examine the room, you feel as though 1,000 eyes are watching you. Before you stands the most horrible collection of statues you have ever seen. Stone monsters only a madman could imagine leer down at you from their pedestals. You stand in the doorway, too frightened to continue. It is well that you have done so, for one of the statues moves. It is a living gargoyle. It is the size of a man, but is the color of stone. Bat-like wings rise from its back, and it has knife-sharp hooks on its elbows and knees. A long spiral horn protrudes from its forehead. The gargoyle's hands end in long, sharp claws, and it has a long, whipping tail. The halfling presses to your side and raises his small shield to hide behind. You know gargoyles are ferocious predators that attack anything and love to torture their prey. You also know that sometimes they serve an evil master. It's possible that the gargoyle is Calman's servant. Perhaps the wizard is near. If you think you must fight the gargoyle, even though it is one of the fiercest creatures you expect to meet in this dungeon, enter the room and turn to page 100. If you do not wish to fight the gargoyle, return to the dimly lit corridor you passed earlier and turn to page 81.
I think it's trying to warn us.
I'm moderately sure you're going to die if you fight that thing.
Also, it's a bunch of stone monsters carved by madmen. Who could have done this? Maybe it's a basilisk. Huh?
They're trying to trick us. Fight the gargoyle.
Yeah, let's fight the gargoyle. Fight the gargoyle.
Fight the
I
gargoyle!
would say retreat.
Fight the gargoyle.
Fight the gargoyle. Be the Xanatos.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Okay.
question, Kali, do you want to drink something?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna happen either way, but I need to show you this fucking illustration that is in the book for this gargoyle before I keep reading. Hold on. 1 second. Holy shit. It's fucking terrible. Alright, come on. Focus in, camera. God, this is funny. Amazing illustration coming in. Come on. Load up. Load. There you go, Discord. Look at that.
Wow.
Amazing!
Peg leg Pete.
Yeah, you're going to fucking die.
I'm gonna fucking die. Okay. You doubt the corridor behind you holds anything less hideous than the gargoyle. Your heart racing wildly, you decide to take your chances with the gargoyle. You slowly edge around the corner of the wooden beam on the side of the doorway. Loris, who has remained close by your side, stumbles over a rock and falls full length upon the ground with a large whump. Your courage fails you, and your feet refuse to move. You stand frozen with fear. The gargoyle swivels its ugly head in your direction and gives a terrible shriek. Leaping down from its pedestal, it prances and dances like a demon, flapping its wings and drawing ever closer and closer. "Run, Carrick, run! Don't stop for me!" cries the halfling. You cannot leave your friend. The gargoyle's eyes fix on you, still standing in front of the wooden beam. The gargoyle is now only 10 feet from you. It continues to prance about, showing exactly what it plans to do to you. At last, bored with taunting, the gargoyle draws back, lowers its head until the spiral horn points at your chest. It runs towards you. Waiting until the last minute, you fall and lay at the base of the wooden beam. The gargoyle charges over you and, unable to stop its rush, slams into the... It does exactly what I thought it was going to. It's so stupid.
Motherfucker.
Slams into the beam so hard it impales its horn deep into the wood. Tries it might it cannot pull its horn on. I'm sorry.
Right, let's spank this naughty gargoyle.
You dumb bitch.
All those years of Monster Hunter paid off.
Oh my god.
Da-da-da-da.
It screams echo through the room and down the corridor. The beast... I'm just imagining this and it's so dumb.
Okay, so it shrieks horribly, it's got a long spiral horn, and it charges. This isn't any ordinary gargoyle, this is a monoblos.
This is a monoblos.
Dun dun dun. So that's where he's been.
And it's also got wings.
Yeah.
This dumb bitch.
What?
The beast's arms and legs kick and flail, battering you. Quickly scrambling to your feet, you and Loris race off into the corridor on the opposite side of the room. Fucking
Bye,
hell.
bitch.
You dumb motherfucker.
You lived. I'm surprised.
How you live?
This corridor is smooth and well lit. Grasping your sword and your mirror bright shield firmly. Grasp your sword firmly! God damn it!
I always grasp my sword firmly when something's smooth and well lit.
Don't forget to apply your shield.
I will fucking die. Oh my god, this book is gonna kill me.
And you haven't even taken a drink yet.
I haven't. It's just... Alright. I haven't gotten to a bad end yet.
I'm impressed how long we've gone without dying.
What do you mean a bad ending? This is already a bad beginning.
I mean, that's fair.
This is the worst written thing I think I've ever encountered.
This would be better if it
And
was
it's
just...
my first.
If it was just like a book, this would be better. Because it very clearly wants to railroad you down one path.
Oh, it involves railroading, alright. Mm-hmm.
Going down those corridors that are well lit and smooth and slick and grasping your sword.
Mm-hmm. Just slide on in.
God damn it.
Kind of surprised you left the gargoyle with his ass in the air.
You stride down the passageway. You come to an archway in front of you with the sound of heavy breathing. I can't get 2 sentences! I can't get 2 sentences into anything without it going bad.
Was there just a universal mandate that Pick Your Own Adventure books had to be horny as hell sounding?
Horny. A cool
Well, seriously,
breeze
this is...
blows down a tunnel running uphill from your left. Suddenly, mocking laughter rings out from the archway and a deep voice says, "Well done, fighter. Hello again, halfling. You surprised me. I had not thought to see you again." There's a long silence. "Maybe we should turn back," says Loris. That sounded like Calman. "The treasure is probably very close, you say. I don't want to give up yet. If you choose to seek the treasure and possibly face Calman, go down the tunnel and turn to page 108. If you decide to avoid the wizard, go back up the corridor on the left and turn to page 81.
Let's go down Calvin's tunnel. We're heading in dry.
He already knows you're there. What's the point in trying to, like, duck around more?
Yeah, like, he already knows we're here. Victory or death at this point.
We are already grasping our sword firmly.
Grasp my sword firmly.
Well, you say, shaking
First, I'm
yourself.
gonna grasp my sword. Then I'm gonna grasp your sword.
Firmly.
Firmly.
Well, you say, shaking yourself, I guess this is what we came for. If we've come this far, we might as well see it through. With great caution, the two of you approach a bend in the passage and slowly peek around the corner. A large cavern lies before you. Gold coins lie in heaps on the sandy floor. Gems sparkle every color of the rainbow over the entire floor. Heavy silver bricks are stacked in great mounds near the walls. Your breath is taken away by the vast treasure. Far more treasure than any person could ever use in a lifetime. My apologies, Loris, you say. I thought you were exaggerating, but you are not. It does seem that all the world's treasure is here. At last, reason returns to both of you. You are so dazzled by the treasure, you fail to notice some other details of the cavern.
Like the booby trap!
2-inch iron bars protect the treasure. They would be impossible to break. The only opening in the barrier is a small iron door with an unusual keyhole shaped like a cross with a diamond on each end. Carrick, look at all the statues. Don't they look odd? You notice a number of statues standing around the iron bars. Some of them actually clutch the bars in your hands. The statues are remarkably lifelike. There are humans, halflings, elves, and even a dwarf. Both of you move closer, marveling at the workmanship of the statues.
Oh, Lord.
They are very lifelike. You're right, Loris.
I've never read a book.
You're right, Loris. Look at their expressions. More than half wear expressions of horror on their faces. Many have raised hands as though protecting themselves from danger. What kind of sculptor could have created such figures? I want to point out, like Archifex did a while ago, that these dumb fucks read this on the beginning of the wall that said there was a basilisk in here. And they're like, oh, look at all the statues!
Yeah.
I think Percy Jackson captured this trope the best because one of the things they do is they check for fingerprints on the statues. They're not dealing with a basilisk though; they're dealing with Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fingerprints on the statues that clue them into that they're not statues but petrified people. But like, just check for fingerprints. Nobody has the time to carve fingerprints.
Unless they're fucking insane.
Oh boy, there is a lot of reading I have to do. There's a lot of reading until we get to another choice, I think. So I'm just gonna push through it.
Didn't fucking die?
Not yet. Suddenly a terrible thought enters your mind. Loris, you ask, do you think these statues are not sculpted? No shit! Good job, genius boy!
You are smart.
Very smart!
He at least came to that conclusion without needing to nearly die.
Both these fuckers rolled a nat 1 on everything they've done so far.
Except for killing that wasp.
Yeah, which was the worst thing ever. That's terrible.
And they somehow got a nat 20 on the reflex save to not get impaled by a gargoyle.
Yeah. Maybe they
They
were
did
living.
humiliate a gargoyle.
Maybe they were living beings who were turned to stone. Remember the words written on the entrance? Watch the water that is not water and beware the basilisk? I think we stumbled into the basilisk's lair. The fate of the statues who are once living beings is now clear. Anyone unfortunate enough to look into the eyes of a basilisk instantly turns to stone. There is no escape. What can we do to protect ourselves? Asked the halfling wildly. I don't want to be a statue. Quickly, you think of all you know about the dreadful creatures. A basilisk is a reptilian monster nearly 10 feet long. The only way to protect yourself from turning into stone is to reflect the basilisk's gaze back into its own eyes so it will be turned to stone. Suddenly, the heavy breathing becomes louder. Oh boy. Oh no, it's the basilisk.
I bet it does.
Oh no, it's the basilisk. You don't dare turn around. Laura, she whispered, don't turn around. Whatever you do, do not turn around. You stand...
Uh-oh. The commissar's in town.
God damn it. You stand in place, eyes tightly closed, trying to think of your next move. Evil laughter bursts forth and a voice hisses. Do you know our secret fighter? Come, turn around and meet my pet. Not many come this far, and none leave, except, of course, your small friend. It seems I made a mistake. But who expects worms to grow backbones? This dungeon is a profitable and pleasant place for me, and I do not intend to let you spoil my fun. Come, turn around. A wild plan forms in your mind. You don't know if it will work, but it's worth a try. Anything is better than becoming the newest statue in the wizard's collection. Quickly, you whisper your plan to Loris. We don't get a choice, we just do the plan. Slowly the two of you lower your heads and raise your shields at the same time. The heavy, polished surfaces cover your faces. Perhaps you can reflect the horrible creature's gaze back into its own eyes and turn it to stone. You spin around and face the basilisk. You hear it hiss as it approaches, and feel its hot breath on your legs. Abruptly, there's a crunching, crackling, splintering sound, and then there's only silence. Calvin, you call out, we would go in peace. There is no answer. Carrick, the halfling says, the breathing has stopped. You peer out from behind your shield. At first you... Oh boy, there's another illustration. That's a basilisk! Oh my god!
Oh no.
Oh, hold on. I'll read this and then get you a picture. At first, you see only sand, then you see a scaly hide, but the hide is made of stone. The basilisk lies on the side in the sand, frozen forever in stone. It worked, Loris. Our plan worked. But where's Kalman? Asked Loris. Maybe he fled, you respond. If you want to search the room, turn to page 115. Perhaps Kalman fled when you turn his basilisk to stone. You may try to open the lock guarding the treasure. Turn to page 113.
We don't have the option to go back and get the key?
Nope.
This is like if
Or does it
you
just
had-
assume that you got the key?
This is like if a game spent like 20 minutes hyping up a boss fight and then the boss is defeated in a cutscene.
Pretty much.
This is
So
very
general
dumb.
scales.
We obviously don't have the key, so I wouldn't bother with the lock. Go with the
Yeah.
other one.
Fucking basilisk.
Look how he's kind of looking at you going, you see this shit?
It seems like a rather cruel thing to do to a basilisk.
Wait, what are we doing?
I mean, it's
looks like a-
trying-
It looks like a Fallout gecko.
I mean, it is trying to kill and eat you, so... Eh.
I'm more concerned with our guy's face. Look at that.
Yeah,
It looks like his name's Chet.
you sure your ugly-ass face didn't turn to stone?
Like, damn, dude. It didn't make any mention of this being pretty, so I suppose.
Ah, so
Charisma
charisma was
5.
his dumb stat.
Charisma of 5. Alright. So, do we want to search the room, or do we want to try to pick the lock?
I would say search the room.
Let's pick the lock. Show our skills, the thief.
Alright. Okay.
Someone else want to chime in? We got one vote for each.
Kind of want to go after the treasure because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And it'll probably get us
Same.
killed.
Pick
Okay,
the
so-
lock.
So I would be in the boat of Pick the Lock, but I know just enough about the first edition of D&D to go we should search the room first because there might be a second booby
Hello?
trap. Hello.
Oh my god,
Hey
did you
there.
guys not hear me this whole time again?
No.
Nope.
You were
I
muted.
mean, I was
too.
muted a couple times, but like, I've been unmuted several.
I haven't heard you.
Have you?
Okay.
Never when you were talking.
What doth say the Nora?
Search the room.
Search the room. Okay, we're searching the room. 115. Okay. Alright. Calvin steps into your sight. Here I am, Worms, he says. My little joke has gone on too long. What shall I do with you? Maybe I'll turn you into slugs, then I can step on you whenever I please. How about a fair fight, Calman, you ask? Don't be silly, fighter. He answers, I didn't study all those years to fight fair. I much prefer fighting like a magic user.
There?
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, he just fucking pointed it out.
He did.
I didn't go to school not to turn you into something and humiliate you. What the fuck?
He roars with laughter and shoots 4 bursts of silver white light from his fingers. You see you and the halfling jump for cover. Hiding won't save you, my little slugs, he hisses. You hear sizzling noises, then a blinding pain surges through your elbow. You have time to do no more than gasp with pain before 8 more bursts arc towards you. Rolling in terror, you try to dodge, but they follow you and burn into your body. You lay gasping on the ground, dimly aware of Loris whimpering in the background. Calman laughs. Do you see what I mean? Now stop your silly whining and come here, heroes, he sneers. I want to change you into worms. Calman beckons you with a skinny finger. You find your body crawling to him despite your mind's desire to escape his foul lair. At last you lie stretched out on the sand in front of Calman. Loris moans softly as he crawls your Stop. Stop!
No.
Didn't know Loris had a domination kink. Oh.
My sweet pet, Calman croons to his stone basilisk. I shall avenge you.
No.
Shall I turn them into slugs or little black spiders? Both squish nicely when you step on them. Your skin crawls. You do not want to be turned into any kind of bug. If you could only draw your weapon. Suddenly, the halfling's furious voice screams, No! You aren't gonna turn me into a bug! I hate bugs! You lift your head in amazement as Loris flings himself at the wizard. I don't want to be a bug, screams the halfling, locking his arms around Calman's knees and struggling to topple the evil wizard. Calman's amusement turns to anger. He finds it difficult to pull the halfling away. Calman raises his hands and points his fingertips at the halfling. Loris screams, No, I don't want to be hurt either. He gives a great jerk that throws Calman off balance. For a moment, the halfling and the
A
wizard...
great jerk, you say?
Yeah, yep. I was hoping to read past that without.
I'm sorry.
in our
It's just,
voice
we've
chat.
been making these jokes all night. I couldn't help myself.
It's fair.
If you didn't, I was about to.
I mean,
I did it.
I was too.
That's why I said okay. So I think so I did it too. It's all right. It's all right.
It's all
Let
right.
that one slide.
That's pretty rough, gotta say.
Gosh, no,
Yep.
continue.
There's a lot more in this fucking sentence that is. For a moment, the halfling and the wizard sway back and forth. Then the two topple to the ground, ignoring your pain. You force yourself to your knees and crawl to the struggling.
Alright, beware of the glow.
Where do we even start?
Get off me, you miserable halfling. I'll turn you into a centipede, screams the wizard, attempting to free himself. I hate bugs, screams the halfling.
Wow, rude.
Finally...
Come on, man. That's basic entomology. That's not a bug. Come on, dude.
He's a...
He's a baker's assistant. What kind of research on bugs do you think he's had?
This guy clearly has a phobia because he's fucking snapping.
Finally, Kalman wrenches one leg free and kicks at the halfling. You realize this is your only chance. If you are to live, you must do something now. Gathering all your strength, you fling yourself on top of the struggling wizard and grab both of his wrists to prevent... Stop that. This is way too kinky, alright? Come on.
Alright, where are the handcuffs?
And then you pin him to the floor, right?
Yep. Kalman roars in fury. His evil face is only inches from your own. His lips curl back in a dog-like snarl. That's just like an invitation. You cannot win, fighter, he hisses. Even with the stupid halfling holding my leg, I'm more than a match for you. When you creep through the black tunnels on your belly, waving your antennae in the air, you will wish you had never touched me. Oh, okay. He's into consent. Okay, that's fine. You are about to reply when the wizard shoves you mightily. Both of you tumble, locked in each other's grip. Loris clings as hard as he can to Kalman's legs. Do something, Carrick, he cries. Do something. Do what, you gasp? I don't want to be turned into a bug any more than you do. Try as you may, you cannot do more than just hold on to Kalman. This is the strongest wizard I have ever seen in D&D.
Yeah?
Yeah. Gem up the mind.
Again, though, we are a short king. So...
Yeah.
You are weakening fast. You are the
No wonder you were the halfling.
You are the shittiest fighter.
You a dex fighter? What the fuck?
The shittiest fighter. You are... The constant bashing causes your injuries to throb and ache. Risking the chance Kalman will free himself, you reach down and draw your sword. Okay.
Zip.
Okay.
No!
Kalman dashes you against the cavern wall, and your aching fingers drop the weapon. Kalman yells triumphantly and rolls away. He seizes your sword and flings it across the room. Rolling away.
You're a fighter!
Rolling away from Kalman, you strike the treasure room bars. Realizing you are near the end of your strength, Kalman jumps on top of you. Okay.
Oh.
Now he hisses, pointing a bony finger in your face. Just as you think the end is near, Kalman screams terribly and falls aside. You bit me, the wizard screams. Let go. Loris has wrapped himself around Kalman's legs, his teeth clamped on the evil wizard's leg. The fucker bit him!
Oh my god.
Loris is a better fucking fighter than you are. I'm just pointing this out.
Yeah.
You fucking bit a wizard. I love this guy. You scramble for your sword, but it lies across the room. Your hand fumbles about, searching for anything that can serve as a weapon. Your fingers close upon coins, jewels, a chalice. Useless. All useless. Suddenly,
Bullshit.
your fingers
Cold heavy. Throw it.
I hate these sentences that are coming up that I'm reading. Suddenly, your fingers encounter a slender, heavy metal rod. The rod grows warm as soon as you touch it.
Oh no.
Oh my god! No.
I bet it does.
As you bring it forward, you see that the rod glows pale green. Kalman's eyes open wide and he grows pale. Horror spreads over his face. He cringes, hands held before him, trying to escape the rod. His mouth
You
moves.
don't like my cringe ass rod?
His mouth moves, but no words come out. You strike Kalman with the rod.
Wow.
Oh my god, stop with the noises!
Before you're
No.
before you're
This is my laugh.
before your disbelieving eyes, the wizard body grows stiff. That breaks
Oh.
into dozens of splinters. As you stare at the shattered wizard, you hear hissing. A stinking black cloud explodes from the broken body. You and Loris edge as far away from the cloud as possible. What will this cloud reveal? The stinking cloud billows and rolls, hiding all that lies beneath it. Lars shivers and clings to you. His teeth chatter with fear. Your horrible wizard-biting teeth. A horrible ear
I love
splitting-
edging with a wizard.
God damn it. A horrible ear-splitting, heart-stopping screech assaults your ears, and an inhuman head pokes out of the cloud. It glares at you. It is the ugliest head you have ever seen.
Aren't they all?
Not touching that. It looks like a chicken, but it has no feathers. Its eyes are large and lidless. A large
Oh, so
curved...
it's a man.
A man.
The Skeksis.
Cockatrice.
A large
Moist.
curved beak snaps open and shut. The head turns back and forth, the bright red eyes studying the detail of the room. You start to move slowly towards your sword. As soon as you move, the creature squawks loudly and rises above the cloud on two bat-like wings. It hovers in the middle of the room, too frightening to look upon. There is a lot of fucking reading before we get another choice, just so you know. This is not a choose your own adventure. This is a choose a route and then get read at.
I killed you once.
It appears to be a cross between a bird and a snake. A large bird-like body covered with scales hangs suspended between the two large bat-like wings. Dirty white feathery down covers its shoulders, and there are razor-sharp talons on each of its forelegs. Sorry, my brain got caught up in the sentence afterwards. The creature beats its wings upon the air, uncertainly at first, then stronger at every flap. Carrick, the halfling, squeaks, "We better do something, or that chicken thing is going to eat us." You edge toward your sword. Screeching wildly, the creature dives at you. You slash out with the rod, which no longer glows, and strike it on one white wing. As it swoops by, the sharp talons rip at your clothing. Oh, I see where this okay.
We have to edge him with our rod.
The creature swoops and dives in bat-like bursts of speed. You grow dizzy following its flight. Finally, the creature dives straight for you, driving its clawed foot deep into your shoulder. It slashes once, then twice, and circles the room. Then its great wings beating, it flies down the black corridor. You collapse to the ground, bleeding. Loris rushes to your side and gently cradles your head. Ripping cloth from his shirt, he presses it against your wound. He feels your shoulder gently to see what damage the creature did. You are lucky, Carrick, it didn't get your face. But you'll have an interesting scar, that's for sure. You think you can get up? It wouldn't have done much different to your face, looking at this picture in chat. It would not have done too much damage to anything.
The scar may have improved it.
That screechy chicken might come back, and I don't want to be here. Although your head spins and your body aches, you struggle to your feet. As you rise, the metal rod tumbles to the ground. Thank heaven for that magical stick, says Loris. We would be crawling along some corridor right now if not for that wand, you say. I don't know what it was, but I'm sure glad we found it. I don't think we could have defeated Kalman without it. Kalman shows the halfling. Where is he? Where has he gone to? Loris whirls wildly about, searching for the wizard. He's gone, Loris, you say, holding his shoulders. We'll find whatever remains of Kalman when you find that creature. I don't think I want to find either one, says the halfling. What was that chicken thing anyway? I don't know, you answer, but if we're lucky, it's the only one of its kind. We must hope that it finds our world an unfriendly place and dies. Okay.
Carrick's kind of a...
You're kind of a dick.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, Scatha, that he is your gremlin brain, because his first instinct was to slap someone with a stick.
That is fair. That is fair. I don't want to think of what might happen if it lives. Only Calman knew for sure. Does this mean we've won, asked Loris? Are we witch now? You turn and face the locked door to the treasure room. If you have found the key that will fit the door, turn to page 126. If you do not have the key, turn to page 125. We do not have the key.
Nope.
You look sadly at the treasure room door. You could never break that door down, even with your best effort. No, Loris, we are not rich. We might as well not have come at all. What do you mean, Carrick, the halfling asked? There's all the treasure in the world sitting right there. Yes, you asked so sadly, and it's impossible to stick our hands through the bars and grab the coins like I did in the last fucking sentence. But you know...
And we also have no idea where the key could be.
No idea.
Nope, none whatsoever.
But it won't do us any good. We can't break that door down. Loris looks at you strangely, then taking a piece of stiff wire from his pocket, he walks over to the treasure room door. He bends the wire in two places, inserts it into the lock, twists, and pop! The door swings open.
Oh my god!
Amazing.
He's
What the
a
fuck are you
rogue!
talking about?
The halfling
Okay,
was a rogue this entire time!
Okay, so I guess it didn't even matter.
Loris, you gasped. How'd you do that? It was nothing, Loris replies proudly. I've been picking locks since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Now we've got all the treasure in the world.
I haven't heard that saying since my grandmother.
The
I
end.
love that though.
So he's a southern halfling, alright.
The end. So,
And then you got a halfling boyfriend out of it.
I guess. So we got through that entire thing without killing me once.
Yeah.
Technically the
Congratulations.
halfling and his wife got a swinger.
I mean, shit, yeah.
The halfling had a wife. The halfling had a wife.
Yeah.
He has a wife at home. He mentioned her twice, I think.
He said she was gonna yell at him.
Yeah, half the reason he went on an adventure was because he didn't want to go home and get yelled at.
Yep.
Oh.
Which, honestly, I vibe with.
It's a good thing he did, because he carried this adventure. Carrick sucks. Loris is awesome.
How did you get overpowered by a fucking wizard? Did he use Tinser's transformation? No!
Fucking halfling bit the wizard. Picked the lock.
The only thing we did was trick a gargoyle, which admittedly was good. And
we didn't even really trick it. We got lucky.
And we set a wasp on fire. That's it.
This replicated all the thrills and chills of D&D.
Did it?
Terribly.
Did it?
Terribly. Just absolutely awfully.
One person who made a serious character fucks up and does nothing, and the guy who made a joke gets everything right. I'd say this is pretty accurate.
I'm just saying, Carrick is terrible, and Loris is the real hero here.
Yeah, Loris MVP.
And all because he didn't want to go home and get yelled at by his wife.
Or get turned into a bug.
Or get turned into a bug.
I do like that Carrick's like, there's nothing we could do about this closed door. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just lockpick.
It's like, any idiot can do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if it really just has you leave sadly because, oh, we can't get the treasure, or we didn't have the key, we can't go back for it. I mean, you could just leave the dungeon, go get a stick of dynamite in town, or whatever you need to make it, come back and lob that into the well.
Or, hell, just go pay the local blacksmith, and he walks up and just bends the bars with his hammer or something.
Fucking hell. Let's see.
Go get a mule and wrap a fucking rope around it and have it pull the bars out.
So this picture is technically on the path where you have the key, but I think Loris deserves this picture. Because oops, no, not camera. Cancel. Go.
So I want to mark complete surprise that Scatha likes the halfling character.
Do you not think that I'm correct in my assessment,
No.
though?
You're completely
100%
correct.
Right.
Yoinked a crown. Nice.
This bitch got a crown now.
A crown and pearl necklace. Fuck off.
He deserves it.
All right, so I think we're gonna put that book down because that was a lot of reading without a lot of choices. I do have another Alien book, and with how relentlessly horny this book is, I don't think that one could be any worse. So
I do want to do that one, but I'm just gonna get a snack first.
yeah, we're just gonna have a short break, but I think that ending is the best ending that we could have come to on that book.
Yeah.
Probably.
Honestly, given how fucking long it takes for each section to get you to make a choice, I don't really feel like searching the rest of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Also, you were trying to get killed several places, and it's just like, ho!
We made some stupid choices and we survived. That's a bad choose your own adventure book.
That was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
It is the first one in the series, though, so maybe they get better later. Because, but we are all going to remember Loris the Halfling and Carrick the Shitty Fighter.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to threesome.
And the Monoblos gargoyle.
Like, I can't wait so you make like his son or daughter, Callie.
I mean,
yeah, Lars the Halfling fucking debuts as an NPC in some campaign with Carrick, his boyfriend / partner, as the bartender.
Let me go back to the level 2 page so I can put him in the list of the NPCs. Hold on.
they are now ours. We've claimed them. I'm going to type his the spelling of his name.
Yes. Transformers methodology. I found this character in this shitty media, but I kind of like them, so I'm taking them.
Yeah, Loris is mine now.
Don't call me out like that, Ribs.
That's literally every Transformers fan.
Larobros.
It's also something pretty much all of us do in this community.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Rose Ests, but Loris is mine.
I'll be back shortly. Bye.
That's a weird fucking name.
So that is the end of this book. I am going to stop the stream for this, so we have the books on like nice book-sized chunks every time I do this. We will be back though with the other Alien book that I have, which is Target